Here we go. As usual, we'll just wait a few minutes and then we'll get this party started. Today is texturing. And for those of you who want, I've already put up the, what should I call it, the tutorial that goes along with this course today on YouTube. I'll put that in the chat for people. It's on my YouTube channel, Rebecca Harrison, and that it's 28 minutes, and then it'll kind of go over exactly what we're going through today. So I'll put that in chat. Boom. And that will be called Hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey. There we go. So that's in there. It's not showing me my active viewers. It's showing me my total ever viewers. So it's like 6,000. I'm like, oh, I'm popular. Wow. But gosh, 6,000 consecutive viewers. Amazing. Can't believe it. Okay. Let's get it going on my phone so I can keep tabs on the chat. Nice. How's everybody doing this fine Tuesday evening? Y'all holding up? Into these eyes. Yeah. Alright, how do we see? We have 4 viewers. We've lost viewers since last week. I'm gonna reset my browser. Sleep schedule is so weird at this point. Yeah? Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm living with a human alarm clock. He's like, it's 11 o'clock. It's time for bed. It's 8 o'clock. It's time to wake up. Honestly, it's fantastic. Because I know without him, I would be staying up till 5 a.m. with the rest of everybody else. So that's good. That's good. Ooh, let me show you guys something I've been working on. Let me save this. Where's Raymond? So I textured Raymond for my other course. He's a cutie patootie. So yeah, this Thursday I'm gonna be rigging him, but look at him. Oh, follower. What? His glasses look stupid. Why are they all blumpy? I'll deal with that later. That's the official word for it. Blumpy. Been waking up around 10 a.m. Going to sleep somewhere around 1 a.m. Oh, hey, Dan, how you doing? I just saw who it was. Yeah. For those who don't know, Daniel Voth is basically the Winnipeg game dev scene's Wizard of Oz. So be friends with him because he's cool and he likes friendship, and also he rides a motorcycle. So there's that, which is key, honestly. Heart, thank you. All right, so we've gone from 7 viewers to 6 viewers apparently, which is concerning because this is a class of 23 people. I'm just gonna at everyone in the Discord. So hopefully that'll help. Unicycle. You're the unicycle wizard. It's all good. Alrighty. So yeah, so today we're going to be doing some texturing of this gray person and turn them into a colorful person. But first, we must teach this person how to lay itself out nicely on a 2D background like this. You know, I'm going to do some merging of this. I'm going to It's like 1 pixel. Join area over here. And then join area over here. Nope. Oh, dang it. That's the opposite of what I wanted to do. There we go. So I'm going to actually make a vertical split here so that I can put the UV here. So now we can see both at the same time. Haha. How many classes do you guys have left? Hey, Farron. How you doing? So this is the second last class. So this one, texturing, and then the last one is just polish time. So that'll be us bringing it into Unity. I'll go over like Unity importing, Unity materials, and then basically anything you guys need to get your characters in the game. And then because of this whole shenanigan business with viruses, we're probably not going to have an end of class event like we did last year, but I'll be posting the game that contains all of your characters on Twitch, so you guys can sorry, download that and then you can play it yourselves with your characters in a real gosh darn video game. So that's what we'll do. It'll be nice. Okay, so how many sad noises? I know. Okay, 19 viewers. Now we're talking. All right. So I'm going to wait another 2 minutes, and then we will get started. Ooh, where are all these other images? Oh, that was that one. Oh, I have a duplicate. I'm just going to use that other one. There we go. Image. Shoop. Don't use alpha. Perfect. Nice. Yeah, so. Okay. Aw, we love you too, Peg Jam. Yeah, so while we wait for people to pop in, just a few more seconds, let me just share my display capture. Aww. Let's go to ldjam.com. So gosh darn excited. There's theme voting going on right now. So there's the 3 rounds of theme voting, and then a final round which will open up tomorrow. And we're voting on the theme for this weekend's Ludum Dare 46 Game Jam. I'm going to be joining it with my friend Josh, who was actually the first guy I ever did a game jam with. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to be doing just art this time. No programming for me, which honestly is perfect. That is right up my alley. I've tried the programming path, and it is just not, it's not for me. I always end up frustrated with how the art turned out. So I'm like, I would have done it my way. And then they're like, well, you should have done it your way. And then I was like, dang, they're right. So now I'm doing it my way. Yeah, so the shader for this guy. Dink. And the shader, we shall call it new material. We shall call it Fire Girl. You want me to do it with one of your friends? Really? Awesome. Nice. Yeah, make sure you share it next week in the Discord, and we can play it, and it'll be fantastic, and I will rate it. Oh no! It broke again. That's a bummer. I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, well, we have 21 viewers, and it's 5:35, so let's get started. So, first thing we're going to do is we need to tell this 3D model is that tiny squishy bird. I don't know why it came out squishy like that on my phone, but it's like half the size of a regular emoji. Oh no. So we have to tell this 3D model that we want it to apply itself to a texture, such as this. So let's say let's make a new image. Let's call it color grid. And we'll make it a color grid. These come with Blender. And okay. So that is now our texture here. And it's like 1 pixel to grab. And let's go into Z Material Preview. As you can see, we have that. And you can do it with a color grid as well. Boink. And that is kind of how the character looks. Did I already cut this up? Or is this literally just how it genuinely appears? Weird. Am I forgetting that we actually did unwrap this at some point? Am I losing my mind? Because it doesn't look like it's got seams, as far as I can tell. I think we supposed to be paid for that. Okay. Oh, we'll do it again. So let's say we messed up accidentally and we projected it from view. Oh no. There. So we have no UVs now. This is just the way it's going to be. So we're starting again from scratch with unwrapping it. So as you can see, it is telling the 3D model where on the texture to get its data from. And it's doing it in a very funny way right now because I've just told it to literally project the mesh as if I was looking at it. Rainbows. I did do it a bit, didn't I? Yeah, I think I remember this now. I'm doing so many courses lately. I'm like, what happened in which course? I don't have seizure warning. Sorry. So we're gonna do it again. So let's unselect everything, Alt A, and then hover over. Let's pick apart. What's the Discord, or where's the invite? To what? What invite? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Have I missed something here? Anyways, so we're gonna hide everything except for this with Shift H, and let's go in here and let's start making seams. So I'm gonna use Alt right click to grab an edge loop, Shift right click, Alt Shift right click, and so we're just gonna go around Shift right click, Alt Shift right click, Shift right click, Alt Shift right click, Shift right click, and you're basically just gonna grab the edges of the mesh. And you kind of want to chop it up into little pieces that will lay themselves out nicely. So you don't want any big bends. So for example, let's Control E, mark seam. Be in the server, the Discord server. Are you not in the Discord server? Like, you mean the Peg Jam Discord server, or like this course's Discord server? I'm confused. Control E, mark seam, and same thing on the inside. That's good to go. And then let's grab it all, and you unwrap. And so now it's unwrapped it as if it's been unfolded onto the paper. This part here is not looking so good. So I'm going to turn on UV sync selection, face mode, because that actually lets you select in here what, oh, I see what I missed. I see. Okay, I missed this one little piece. It lets you see what is where, because this part here is kind of weirdly distorted, as you can see, because it's taking this cylinder and it's trying to smush it down. You haven't been able to keep me. Huh. Yeah, you know, DM me on Discord. You should have been part of the server for a while. Yeah, DM me on Discord, or sorry, Twitch, and I'll hook you up, and I'll make sure you're in there. I'm pretty sure we had all of the students who signed up for the course, so if you somehow got missed, I'm sorry. I have no idea how that happened. So yeah, so I have this head. It is now unwrapped. It's doing its best in the world. You can look over here and you can see there's no overlaps, which is good. Alt H to unhide everything. Let's grab just the head. Shift H to hide everything but this. Let's grab this, cut it in half, and make a little seam down here. Mark seams and unwrap. And so the reason I put this little seam down here is to stop, because you can see on this side, it's the roundness causes distortions, but the more little kind of cuts, it's like cutting fabric. The more little cuts you can put in it, I'm maybe gonna put some up here as well, the less distorted it becomes. The better it can lay itself out flat. And Alt H, let's go into the eyes, Shift H, let's grab them like this. Mark seam. I'm not going to bother with making sure the backs of the eyes are super well distributed, just because they're not really going to be shown. So unwrap, those look good to me. Let's grab the shoulder pads, Shift H. And with this, we're going to cut out the fronts. And let's make a seam on the inside, right here. It's kind of like this, unwrapping is like a weird art almost. Like you definitely get an intuition for it over time, like what is gonna lay itself out nicely and what won't. And over time, you just get better and better until you're like, oh, I can just predict that this will work, so to speak, you know? You just get better over time. That's good. Okay, and I think that'll be good. Control E, mark seam. And even if you're wrong, say I see a problem arise, but even if you're wrong, you can just check over here and see what's up. So what I've noticed is I didn't actually cut out these little inner guys. So you can see there's distortion right here. What you gotta do is cut out the inner circle from this cylinder and then lay out the cylinder by cutting it into a strip instead of a cylinder. And then over here, cut out the inner circle, lay out the cylinder. Let's try that again. There we go. That looks much better. I'm not seeing any, there's a little bit of jaggediness over here. Let me fix that by, and the reason it's jagged is because this area of the mesh is just a disaster when I made it. And up. This is this 3D vision that you develop over time. You're like, I know where the lines are all going. Haha. Let's see how that one looks. Yeah, that's a lot better. Not perfect, but we're not going to see that area anyway so much. It's more important that this area over here looks good. Okay, that's good. All right. Now Shift H, open up the body. And for this one, I'm going to do seams down the sides. And those meet at the bottom, perfect. Unwrap. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, you're back. Didn't know what you missed, but you have to restart your computer. I'm recording all this, so don't worry. If you're popping in and out, don't worry. It's all gonna be on YouTube later. And I have a short version of this. I'm actually gonna remove the top and bottom of this cube because it's really unnecessary. And I have a short version of this on YouTube already, and I posted that in the Discord. So that should be good. So that one laid out really nicely, as you can see. All right. Let's head to the arms. Shift H. And so it's basically, and I can get rid of these N-gons. Gosh darn it. Oh, I must have removed the N-gons in that other video, and then I didn't save that one. I just didn't set their back. And then you just put seams underneath the arms, which is a great place for seams, because nobody looks at them. Alt H. Now for the hands. These hands are kind of interesting. This is why I usually use UV spheres instead of icospheres, because these are really hard to unwrap. So you just kind of have to do your best to like find like a path all the way around the ball that actually meets up with itself. There's one. L dot. Dot will always center your view. What class is this for? This one is for the Art and Design in Video Games course for high school age students. This is class 7 of 8, texturing in video games. So we're just going to be unwrapping, and then later on we're going to be doing painting, which is pretty legit. We're almost there, guys. Stay strong. I'll get rid of these N-gons as well. There we go. And let's get the insides of the legs again. Nice, that one laid up really well. So it's really basically all just about what is happening with these boots. I'm gonna be sneaky with these N-gons. E to extrude, and then go down to inset, so you can't see them. They are hiding away now. E to extrude, E, Z down. There we go. And I'll just grab the boot ridges and the inside of this, lay out that cylinder, the inside of this, lay out that cylinder, and then the mark seams. And I believe that the bottoms of these will also have the same problem. So let's find out. So let's Shift H. Aha, I was right. And let's get rid of them down here, because there's no good way to hide them. So I'm just gonna go space, grid fill, and then space, grid fill, that one as well. And then we'll just grab the edges and the insides of the ankles. Control E, Arc C. Nice. And let's see how those lay out. That looks good to me. And then Alt H, L, L, Shift H, and we'll just cut out the bottoms of these feet. And maybe a nice seam up the back. That looks pretty good. There's some warping, but it's not terrible. I'm going to do the fronts as well. There, that fixed it. That's a lot straighter. Perfect. Okay. And then these are the balls. And so these are UV spheres. So these over here are icospheres. These are UV spheres. You can see why I prefer UV spheres. I'm just going to cut these in half. They are not super detailed areas, so just mark those. Unwrap. Not so bad. Good. Okay. So now we have the whole model has been unwrapped kind of all on its own. And so we have this terrifying mess of UVs that have kind of stacked themselves on top of each other, but we were just really using each of these to check what works. So I'm just going to save up. So what we have to do is it's already cut up and it's already been checked. Just A, select all, U, unwrap. And it just lays it out for you, just like that. So now our entire model is unwrapped. And you can go through this, obviously, and you can be like, I'm going to make a smaller little area for, I want my head to be bigger. So let's say I select just the face. So that's the face. It's pretty small. If I wanted a bigger face, I could make it bigger and then move other things around out of its way. A solid block of points, and it's fixed. Yes, that's what you have me here for, to help fix the thing. But this honestly is not so bad. This is not a bad layout at all to get one naturally like this. Not bad at all. Oh, I'm getting COVID-19 updates from businesses I once went to 3 years ago. Ooh, that's exactly what I've always wanted. Great. Okay, magic. And so now for the fun part. So now we have this unwrapped. And now we get to actually make a texture. So let us start by, can you believe it? Let's go to texture paint mode. And so now we have the painting zone and we have our model over here. It's all selected, so we can go on any of it. So we could just start, let me pull up my tablet pen, we could just start painting away. Woo. She's got, let's make it smaller. She's got a little smiley face back here. But it's angry. And she's got a bum. The usual. So you could go about it that way, and you could just paint it freehand. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there are definitely easier ways to go about this. So let's make ourselves a new texture slot over here. So color grid, let me add a texture paint slot, and let's call it the base color. Let's call it Fire Girl base color. That's a good one. And this is going to be white. Let's make it pure white. Why not? Okay, nice. And so now that is Fire Girl, your favorite part. So we're going to change this from color grid to Fire Girl base color, what we just created. And now we can start just basically taking, and that's why I like to have this image here. I'm just going to take the fill and the eyedropper and grab a color and just put it on here. And it's actually pretty shiny right now. Let me open up the shader viewer, shader editor. Looks like this is the one that's attached to the base color. Not you, go away. And I'm going to turn down the specular. Right down. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, it's probably in the view. It'll be in the view port display most likely. Yeah? Material. Roughness. Interesting. Interesting. Probably in the viewport display. Oh, I get it. I'm in the wrong mode. Aren't I? There we are. There we are. I'm going to put a light in this scene so I can actually see what I'm doing. Make a nice sun lamp, perhaps. that, and then maybe a nice area light underneath. Let's make it a big area light. Make it 5 square meters. And that looks like this when it's rendered. Why does this look so strange? It's because it is extremely shiny. It shouldn't be shiny. Where's my girl? Where's my girl at? Why am I having so much trouble here? There it is. Now it's actually okay. Now it's actually responding to the material properly. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, Blender's weird that way. It gets a little confused with itself. Okay, so now we can actually keep painting. So, the way I have found to paint mask, face selection, asking for painting. Is what I want? No, I don't think so. So I've been kind of doing it this way in New Blender with the fill tool, where you just grab the pieces that you want. Remember, when you have seams, the face tool lets you pick within the seams. Point and line are like irrelevant. They don't care about the seams. So let's grab all the pieces that are going to be kind of bright pink, and let us grab the color. And oh, I do want that, don't I? There we go. Nice. Okay. Perfect. And now we can go back into face mode, and let's grab all the things we want to not be bright pink with, I believe, let's just do L. What's happening here? L? What have I done? What have I done? I've done something terribly wrong. Why am I not? Okay, there we go. Now I'm able to select things. For some reason, I was not able to select things for a second there, which was weird. There we go. I got that there. Grab the outside. Grab the outside. That's good too. And the boots as well. And that will be this fine color over here, which is darker purple. Nice. And then that looks like really odd in terms of colors. I think it'll look better once I get it into Photoshop. It's just a little bit off right now. And let's grab the insides. Nice. And that's kind of like this fun, hot pink. And boink, pat that down. And we'll do a lot of the rest of it with just the regular brush. So we'll take it easy with the fill in just a second. And I'll grab these, and we're gonna grab this nice sort of stone color, boink. And oh, did I color that by accident as well? I didn't mean that. I just wanted these. There we go. And then in here we have kind of this color, and around it we have this color. Nice. Okay, so I'm pleased with this. Let's grab everything and head back into the mode. Okay, so this is kind of like a good starting place for this. So I'm gonna grab my handy dandy tablet pen, and now I get to find the symmetry button. Symmetry, symmetry, symmetry. Where did they put it? One second. When in doubt, Google. Google is your friend. Blender 2.8 painting symmetry. I know, very professional, right? Very professional. Symmetry, Blender texture paint. N panel symmetry. Okay. N panel tool. It's in here. Symmetry. There it is. Mirror the y-axis. The y-axis is this one. Okay. There. Nice. So now I can grab, let's say, this color over here, my nice trusty tablet pen. And grab the brush. Ah, no. Oh, I guess it was the wrong axis. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought it would work that way, but here we are. There we go. Okay. So now, close that. Close this up a bit. We are ready to start painting. Let's just head into it. So we'll have our nice head. And it kind of moves down her shoulders as well. Interesting. Why are you not painting here? Why you no paint? It works there. Does not work there. Why is this? It's definitely... Ha! That's weird. Oh well. That's honestly a mystery of the ages. Why will it not paint there? I wonder if, in edit mode, if the mesh normals were messed up. So if I recalculate outside, let's see. Nope. I want to paint. Yep, that was it. It was inside out. That's why it didn't like that. So if you find that you're not able to paint on something, it's because the computer thinks it's backwards. Which is exactly what you want to hear, isn't it? That the computer thinks that you're backwards. Alright, so then we got that, and let's grab this color over here. And I'm just kind of being fast and loose with this. Obviously, you can take this as, carefully as you want, and usually I'd be pretty careful. I'm just trying to make sure we get through all of our content today, because we got a lot to go through. Got that, and nope, I want it all. So then we want to grab the back, and then this is the last sort of area up here. And the last area here as well. You can see I've accidentally painted on her body a little bit. That's okay. I think it got a little messed up anyways. Okay. Oh yeah, that's funny. It only registered the front half as the white color and not the back half. So I'll head back into fill, grab this again, and color it properly. That's what it was. Okay. Save up. And remember, you can always save your images, and do it pretty often. Probably is a good idea. Going image here in the paint menu. Image, save as, and then I'm going to call it Firegirl base color. That's pretty good. Okay. So these boots are actually the wrong color, I realize now. They should be this color, shouldn't they? Boink. Nice. Okay, let's keep painting. They're not actually quite aligned, so symmetry doesn't work for these. That's okay. There's one, and there's the other. Let me give her a little smile. Very slight. No, I don't like it. It's not slight enough. There it is. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Cinema 4D, every polygon had a front and a back. The way textures interact with them. Yeah, that's the case in pretty much every 3D modeling software. What that's called is the surface normals. And in Unity, you'll find that let me make sure I just have this selected so I have a nice mask, so I don't draw on things I don't intend to. Yeah, if you have a face that's facing the wrong way, it will simply not render in Unity at all, unless you specifically tell it to render back faces. But it's usually just good practice to be aware of where your normals are. And Unity, if you go to, when you're in object mode, obviously, if you go to mesh and normals and recalculate outside, it will basically say, what are the outer parts of this mesh? And how can I switch everything so that it's all facing the correct way? A weird thing about Blender, by the way, is the way they do the brush sizes. So like, out here, this brush is super big, but in here, it's super small. It's still the same size, wherever my brushes went. Probably around somewhere. Brushes? Brushes? Yeah, there, my tool. Yeah, it's still size 10, but it's just gotten lost. So you can just, nice. And I have a pen texture set up on my tablet, so it's able to register like soft strokes and stuff, which is honestly what you want if you're doing 3D art anyways. If you can get your hand on a pen tablet, it is a game changer. Almost there. And it's got this nice sharp little splotches. This is what that looks like over here. You could easily paint on here too. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. There we go. You can do the flame? I am. I'm going to do the flame. You thought those colors were just dramatic lighting in the drawing? No. She's like a sunstone. And I think I'll do her little boots next. And I'll turn back on symmetry. And let's grab this color. There's so many hotkeys happening at the same time. Even I'm getting confused. So let's paint right there. Nice. There we go. And then on the bottom, we want this color. This is pretty slapdash. I apologize. How do you make a gradient color for the texture? Well, you could, I think you can, I don't know if there's actually a gradient tool in Blender, but what you can absolutely do is just take it into Photoshop or something afterwards and make it happen in there. You can just add one, or you could basically start with the texture and of a gradient and map everything else to that. That's a perfectly reasonable way of doing it. Okay, so I'm happy with this. This looks good to me. I'm happy. I'm gonna save the image. And let's go into Unity. I'm gonna pop open a new Unity. So it doesn't scale with the camera. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Thank you. Thank you, Stumpy Steve. You're my hero today. Let me turn on my display capture so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna add basically a new Unity 2019.3.5 F1 Universal Project template. I'm gonna put it in here, and I'm gonna call it let's call it Playing with Textures. So I want to show you something cool in Unity. It's just going to take a minute. You have to look at the infinities for now. Yeah, because so what Unity has is this thing called shader graph, which is basically you tell the computer how to sort of react to the textures. It's kind of hard to explain, but it'll make more sense when we get in there. So just bear with me. But yeah, I hope this has been informative for you guys, because it wasn't until like a while into my 3D art life that I actually learned how to texture things properly. And this is just Blender. Like, if you really want to up your texturing game, I would recommend a program like Substance Painter, where it's got all these tools that I've just shown you, but to like the millionth degree. Like, you can have it basically read your mesh and find all the convex areas like between joints, and you can set it to like make that dark, or you can put like moss on characters' heads, like with a it understands what parts of your mesh are facing in every direction, and you can just use procedural stuff to make it better than you could ever otherwise. I really should have started this Unity stuff beforehand, but here we are. It's importing scenes. What scenes are you importing? There's one scene. It's a new project. I like the analogy that a computer is just a very fast idiot, so you need to tell it everything. Absolutely. All right, that's, okay. Okay, good. I was getting a little nervous there for a second, Unity. I was thinking maybe you'd failed me, as usual. No, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Blender. I'm going to grab my girl. I'm going to make sure that she is aligned with the y-axis, as I showed a couple of classes ago. Grab her location and scale. Make sure that the armature is... Oh, I did an oops. There we go. You know what? Because she has an armature, she doesn't need you to do that. For some reason, Blender... That's interesting. One second. I'm going to fix that real fast. So. There we go. Sorry, it'll bother me otherwise. There we go. Okay. Save that. Nice. For some reason, Blender exports things differently, whether or not you have an armature. I honestly have no idea why. It's a mystery. Other mesh armature, and we're in the correct thing. Let's call it April 14, 2020 Fire Girl. I like to give my meshes dates, because I will often have many meshes that I bring into a project. Let's go to Art and Design for Video Games. April 14, 2020 Fire Girl. And here she is. Come on, work with me. There we go. She's big. She's a big girl. She's like, oh, she's crouching because of her animation. That's cute. She came in with the animation. So the animation I want is actually, I believe, what was it? It's probably 2 to 35 is what I usually put it at. Loop time, loop pose. So that's interesting. That's certainly not what I'd hoped would happen. Why are you doing that? Maybe it's this? There. 33? I'm just gonna look it up. Gosh darn it. This is me being stubborn. What was it? Okay, so 32. 0 to 32. There we are. 0 to 32. There. Okay, that worked. Nice. So that should work. She's got her armature. And what happens if I press play? Will she walk? No, because she doesn't have an animator. That's fair. Okay, anyways. We're not here to do that today. Make it a little smaller. I'll sneak her in here. Get rid of this thing. Whoa. That's my bench. Get rid of this bench. No, I don't want that. I want to get rid of this bench. I'm just gonna close this. Go away. Okay, so now we just have her. And let's just reset the camera so it's looking at her properly. There we go. Get rid of that. Get out of my face. Leave me be. Excellent. So now she's here. She's lovely. So all we gotta do is go to materials, create, right click, create new material. Let's call it Fire Girl. And bada bing bada boom. Put it on the mesh, which I guess we didn't rename, it's just called Sphere. And you can easily just drag it onto her. That's often easier. And all you gotta do is go into your, now where did I save it? That's the question. Where did I save my texture to? Image, save as. Oh, it should just be on the base. Fire Girl. Am I blind? There it is. Nice. You got base color. Put it in here. Boink. Set that to 1 so it's not multiplying or anything. And change the smoothness to something nice. And there you go. So she's in here. She's got the colors that we just assigned her. She's got the issues that we gave her. And that's pretty much good to go. But one last thing I wanted to show before we, I like your tiny smile, it makes me happy. One last thing I wanted to show before we go is the shader graph. And let me just make sure that it is in fact in this project. Unity's package manager sometimes doesn't include everything you're expected to. Yes, it has it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click in materials, create shader PBR graph, physically based rendering graph. I'm going to call it Fire Girl shader. And so now we're going to, so right now Fire Girl material is using the shader universal render pipeline lit. And you can change that to be like unlit so it doesn't take any of the lighting information from the scene. You can change it to be all sorts of stuff. It's got like really simple lit and unlit are the only ones you really would use, or lit and unlit. But I'm gonna make my own. Let's have some fun. And I'm gonna grab the one I just made, shader graphs, Fire Girl's shader, and you can see immediately it removed the texture because the shader. I'm gonna pull it out of here so I can get a better look at it. Close the main preview. It's just, it has no texture in the output. So each of these is an output. So let's create some new variables for this texture to expose. So let's create a texture 2D. We'll call this main text. And we'll grab it a texture. We'll call it Fire Girl base color. And you need to actually sample these. I'm not a huge fan of that step, but such as it is. Boink. Put it into the albedo, which is just a fancy word for color. Save asset. And you actually have to assign the texture separately for some reason. There you go. So we're back. We're back to where we were. But now we can do stuff that'll give us more control. So let's say we have one for smoothness. And we'll set it on default to 1 or 0.1. Take out smoothness, bring it in here, plug it into smoothness. And let's do something really fun. I'm going to introduce you guys to a fun concept called Fresnel. So Fresnel is your fun friend, and it looks like this. So what it is it's saying when you're looking at something, when you're looking straight at it, that's 0. When you're looking at a complete 90-degree angle to it, that's 1. So let's see what happens when we plug that into the alpha channel. And alpha is transparency, and I'll turn on transparency so we can actually see it working. Turn the clip threshold to 0. Look at that. So now you have this weird situation where when you're looking straight at it, it's zero opacity and complete translucency. And then at the extreme outer edges, it's the opposite. And what I could do, I could reverse that if I wanted to with a 1 minus node. And now it's the opposite, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that way better, actually. Looks kind of ghostly. Ooh. And you can do some really weird stuff with that. So I could be like, let's say I wanted, let's create a vector 2, which is a Fresnel power multiply. Okay. And I'll set these to 1 and 1 to begin with. Grab this out. And so now what this is, actually, it's there's an X and a Y. And so I need to actually split those out before I can use them. So I have the X, or the R, which goes into the power. And I'm going to multiply the Fresnel by the second one, so the Y. So that's the power multiply. And I'll grab these and I'll plug them both into the alpha. Save the asset. And now, what I'm able to play with is the power of the Fresnel. And so I can even do the multiply, maybe -1. Ooh, that's exciting. Let's call that 1, or let's call that... I got rid of the 1- node. That's why it's reverted like that. Okay. There. Now we can have like a spooky, hazy edged thing. Super spooks. Oh, it's so soft. I love it. And I think it works best on areas that are smooth shaded. So I'm actually going to go back into Blender. I'm going to take my model. I'm going to smooth shade the whole thing. I'm going to take it, I'm going to Control E, remove sharps. I said remove sharps, not mark sharps, right? Yeah. And I'm going to, oh, it should be smooth shading it. Why is it not smooth shading it? Why do you not do this? Oh well. I was hoping you would do this for me, but I guess not. That's fair. Okay. Rude. Huh. Oh well. It'll have to do that. I was gonna re-import it. There's a really easy way to re-import things. I'll just share it real quick. If you export it, FBX, and you actually go into the Playing with Textures project file, and then wherever you put it, assets, and I think I put it in the material. Oh no, it's right here. And you just save over it. It'll actually simply update it instantly. It didn't do anything, which is too bad, but like, that's kind of fun. And or you could do fun stuff with the Fresnel. Let's say you're like, you know what? I'm tired of the alpha thing. Let's make it a black outline. So this is what the Fresnel looks like in white to black, right? So it looks really white on the outside and really black on the inside. I'm going to turn off opacity so that we can see it a bit better. There we go. So really white on the outside, really black on the inside. And in shader world, what that means is white is 1 and black is 0. Okay? So here's my texture. And I'm going to put it through a lerp node. And what a lerp node is a linear interpolation node, where it is where 1 is the color. 1 or white is the second one, and 0 or black is the first one. So anything that's black is going to be this, and anything that's white is going to be, I'm going to give it a color. The color is going to be black, that. And it's being driven by the Fresnel. So now, watch this. I'm going to give it like a comic book outline. Look at that. And I can change it, its intensity, based off of, it looks a little bit better on like the bottom parts here. Look at that. So I can be like super intense. There. So there's a lot you can do in Unity once you start learning how to use these shaders. It's kind of like these cool effects, right? It's kind of like Okami almost. The flat shading is ruining it a bit, which is kind of a bummer. But that is kind of like, this is just like very, very dipping your little toesies into the world of shaders which once you get used to them in games, you will be forever just the most powerful god. So I'll save that for now. And I think that will be it for the lecture. Um, Obviously, you know, there's the YouTube video. Let me head back to Blender. There we go. Turn on my display. Nice. So yeah, so that's pretty much the rest of the lecture. You know, I'll do the fire next time, just because we're getting a little long in tooth with tonight's broadcast. But yeah, that's how you texture in Blender 2.0. So, or 2.8. Sorry. Yeah, it's definitely something that you get faster at over time, and you can put as much or as little effort into it as you want. I find that the longer you spend just like really finessing the UV map, the better your results are overall, and making sure that there's no really stretched textures, because otherwise you'll like later on be in the middle of painting, and then you'll paint something and it'll just like go or it'll be all super compressed. 10 out of 10 would watch stream again. Thanks, man. And it'll just like kind of just jank out, or it might be really really small on the texture. Like it might just be like a super itty bitty part of the texture, and it's like your whole face is supposed to be fitting in this one part of the texture, and so you can actually see the pixels, which you never want. So yeah, just really make sure that you're giving it the time and attention it deserves. I'll be on until 8. If anybody has any questions about their models, their rigs, their animations, their levels, anything you guys desire, I will be here. So I hope you guys had fun. Oh my goodness, she's so small. She's just a little baby. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's just like, please. I don't want to be in a video game. There's enemies there, and they make me sad. So, please. Okay. Well, I'm starting to get loopy, so I'm gonna call it. But yeah, I will see you guys in Discord and next week for the final class. In terms of, I guess, assignments for this week, I know that a lot of people are still working on their models and animations, so I'll kind of have like a 2-tier homework this week, which is like, if you feel like you've fallen behind, just try and get up to the end of animations. And if you feel like you're really ahead, try to get all the way to the end of texturing, and send me your level designs if you did those last week, and I will critique them. And obviously, yeah, anything else you need, I'm here. See you guys.